Afterward, on the morning of 4th August 1944, a car arrived at 263 Prinsengraft, the address of the secret annex. German and Dutch police arrested the 8 people who were hiding in the annex. Somebody must have told the authorities that they were hiding there. They also arrested 2 of their helpers, Mr. Kugler and Mr. Clayman. Meep and Beb were not arrested. The police took all the money and anything valuable that they could find in the annex. Meep later found Anne's diary in the building and kept it safely until after the war. The police took Kugler and Clayman to a prison in Amsterdam. On the 11th of September 1944, they were sent to a concentration camp in Amersfoort, also in Holland. Because Clayman was ill, he was allowed to go free on 18 September. He lived in Amsterdam until he died in 1959. Kugler later escaped and he went to live in Canada, where he died in 1989. Beb's real name was Elizabeth Voskelvik and she died in Amsterdam in 1983. Meep is still living in Amsterdam, but her husband Jan died in 1993. The 8 people from the annex were first taken to a prison in Amsterdam. Then they were sent to Auschwitz, the concentration camp in Poland. It seems that Mr. Vantan died by gas at Auschwitz and his wife was taken to several more concentration camps. She died in a concentration camp, though nobody knows exactly how. On 16th January 1945, Peter Van Daan had to go on the terrible prisoner's walk from Auschwitz to Mauthausen in Austria, where he died on 5th of May 1945. He died only 3 days before the Allies got to the camp. Albert Dussel died on 20th December 1944 in the Neuengamme concentration camp. Edith Frank, Anne's mother, died in the Auschwitz concentration camp on 6th January 1945. Too tired and too hungry to live any longer, Margot and Anne Frank were taken from Auschwitz to the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp near Hanover in Germany. A terrible illness attacked the prisoners there. They both died in the winter of 1944 to 1945 and must have died in late February or early March. All the bodies of prisoners were thrown together. The British Army arrived at the camp on 12th April 1945. Otto Frank was the only one of 8 still alive. After Russian soldiers reached Auschwitz, he was finally taken back to Amsterdam. In 1953, he moved to Switzerland, married again, and lived there until his death in 1980. He spent the rest of his life trying to share the message of his daughter's diary with the rest of the world.